welcome back to my channel. Today I have a studio and office tour for you, which I said I was going to do a while ago, but then there were a few more things that I wanted to finish up on in my office and just make perfect before I showed everybody. But those things are done now, and I am ready to show you all my studio space. So we might as well start off with this big set of shelves which I got from IKEA and put together all by myself, which is something I tell a lot of people because I'm very proud of it. Up top we have some art from various people, some of which came from Comic-Con and some came from a local arts festival, and some that I made myself, as well as just a couple of trinkets and things that I like to have around. If you know me in real life, or if you follow me on social media, you'll know that I love Dungeons & Dragons. So this is all my D&D stuff. I have my core books, including Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press, which is a very, very great tool for a Dungeon Master, and I highly recommend it. And then here I have all my player information for when I'm being a player, as well as my written DM information, which I won't show you because my players watch these videos and it's a secret, they can't know. Then down here I have the old first edition Dungeons & Dragons books, which belong to my dad, and they're kind of hard to read, a lot of writing and just very information heavy, but I like to keep them as mementos of my dad. And then here I have all my dice, which I will take out and show to you because who doesn't like looking at dice? So in this little bag I have all my dice for the current character I'm playing, which I won't take out because they'll go everywhere, but we can look at the rest of them. The box I keep them in is a tea chest, which I got in the Irish equivalent of a dollar store, so I guess a euro store. But this is a lot of my dice. Not as many as I'd like to have. I have like most D&D players, I have a problem wanting to collect dice. This is here because I use it for status effects when I'm actually playing. I also have some other stuff in here, like a little mini chest of drawers that's full of junk, and yeah, don't worry about that back there. Just know that he's always watching. Next, I have this shelf, which I kind of use as a little display shelf, and I have a fake plant because I'm bad at keeping plants alive, but I like having them around, so I got this one from IKEA. I also have this little print, which I also got at Comic-Con. I'm afraid it was a few years ago, so I can't remember the name of the artist, but I really like it. I then also have some more fake plants and some trinkets, including my Hero Forge mini of, come on, focus. Hello. Anyway, my Hero Forge mini of my first character, Keener, my tiefling cleric rogue, who I love very much. She's such a good girl. So, she lives there, where I will always see her. So over here I have a various collection of stuff, including a load of A4 empty sketchbooks and notebooks, and as well as all the A5 notebooks I'm currently using for Dungeons & Dragons and various other things, writing projects, and also some little sketchbooks. I then have this, which is the only gouache painting that I've ever done. I'd like to do more, but I just find it very intimidating and time consuming, but I love painting, so I really should do more in the future. This is a little wire dude one of my college friends made and gave to me, and yeah, just some trinkets. Next, down below I have various books that I like to use as inspiration and reference. So I have some anatomy books, books about swords, animals, astronomy, horror and sci-fi, and then over here I have these great books, Color and Light, by I don't know the first name. Gurney is his surname. I should know. Oh god. But they're really, really good if you're looking for books about color and light and all that kind of thing. It is wonderful. And then I have Bioshock Infinite art book and Dragon Age Inquisition art book. They're two of my favorite games and I just love how they look. I then have these books, the Dragonology, Monsterology books, which were really big when I was a kid, and and I'm so glad I could find them as an adult because they're just so beautiful and I love them. An Amano book, Calvin and Hobbes, and then a bunch of books that belong to my dad, including some Chris Achilleos art books, which are, you know, full of bikini ladies, and I just like to keep them because they were my dad's and they're fun. So down here I have my box of all my other DM stuff, so like item cards and smaller notebooks and paper that I make maps on and calculators and all that stuff, which I also won't go in case there's anything in there that my players shouldn't see. And then here is where I keep all my old story notebooks where I used to plan all the stories I used to write, which was a lot. I used to write a lot. I wrote a novel even. I have the manuscript of it on the shelf and never did anything with it. But that is my teenage years in that box right there. And then over here we have a box where I keep all my filled A4 sketchbooks, as well as a box full of, as you can see, blank A5 notebooks, of which I have just far too many. Just way too many. It's really quite shameful. I next have these, like 4 boxes, which also came from IKEA, and they mostly store art supplies. I won't go through all of them because the bottom 3 are just full of a load of garbage, and it's such a mess, but this one here, I'll have a look at what's in it. So we've mostly got, here's some oil pastels. Underneath I've got a load of small canvases, which is what I like to paint on because I find large canvases can be quite intimidating and just hard to fill, so I like to use little ones until I'm more comfortable with painting. I also have lots of PVA because I do a lot of crafts and prop making and sometimes terrain making for Dungeons and Dragons. So I have those. I've got a tub of gesso, hot glue gun. I think these are oil paints, some Das clay, which I should use before it dries out. And then I think at the bottom I've got a box of acrylic paints, which I don't use very often. Next up, I'll just talk briefly about my desks, which are, again, from IKEA. They're pretty flimsy, but they were cheap, and I don't have a lot of money, so that's why I went for them. I've also got these 2 yellow desk lamps, which clamp onto them, because this room can get very dark, and I just wanted as many lighting options as possible. Then we go in here, we've got an empty cup of coffee, my phone on a little stand so I can watch YouTube videos, my sad laptop, which is very old but which I can't afford to replace because I bought a Cintiq. But the Cintiq was worth it, so I'll continue using the old sad laptop. Then I have a small chest of drawers on my desk, which has like a charger for my camera and USBs and that kind of thing. My pencil case, a book where I write my plans and everything. A strange, cute little squishy deer. Not deer. 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 That's a sheep. And I also have a little cute ghost cat on my lamp. My desk chair, which is pretty crap, but it's fine, it'll do. And it has a fluffy blanket because it gets cold in here. I also have a dehumidifier under my desk because I live in Ireland and I live in an old house, so it's always damp and I need one. I also have this really cute fake tiger skin rug because, again, it's cold, need to put my feet on something warm. Now onto my first bookshelf. On the top shelf I have all my sketchbooks that are currently in use, as well as my stand for my Cintiq. I have a tub of coloring pencils, which I think are Prismacolors, but I'm not sure. Ruler, scissors, tub of markers that aren't very good. I don't know why I keep the not very good ones right next to me and my other one's further away, but, well, there you go. Kind of bad headset, digital art glove, pen for my Cintiq, and then books, more books, audiobooks, in giant, shameful box of washi tape that I will never use, but God, if I don't love washi tape. Look at this. Look at all this. Look at all this tape. There's so much washi tape in here. Why? I don't need this. Calling myself out on the internet. Look at how much washi tape there is, but it's just so pretty. It's so nice. Oh, I should really use it. Probably won't though. Ha! Above this bookshelf I have a little message note letter board where I like to put cheesy phrases. I have a photo, well, 2 photos of my parents when they're much younger. I like keeping that nearby. And then up here I have a Fallout 4 print that well, it's not a print, this is a pencil drawing, but I made a print of it and you can get it on my Redbubble, which I will link in the description below. Yay! I also have this, which is a splicer mask from BioShock. I made this for a spider splicer cosplay that I did in, I think, 2014. And I still really like the mask, even though I've improved a lot since then. Then here we have a cork board, which is noticeably empty. I really should put more stuff on here. I've kind of got like plans for pieces I want to do and tips for myself. My friend's wedding invitation, which was from their wedding last year, but I like to keep it there because, you know, I like them. Swatches for markers, which are my Ohuhu markers. I have a little cross stitch of a dagger I did in college, a bunch of pins, some exercises from my therapist, and a load of business cards from when I was at Comic-Con. I then have this lamp, which is also from IKEA, and for some reason it's shining directly at this kind of bad painting that I did when I was in college, which I don't really like, but I don't really want to get rid of either. Then I have my big camera tripod, this folder, which I keep maps that I've drawn for Dungeons & Dragons in, this toolbox, which doesn't really have much in it, but it was my dad's, so I keep it. Here is my Cintiq, which I just keep in the box that it came in because I don't have a storage case for it, but it's safe in there, so that's okay. And then down here we have just like a black hole vortex of stuff that I've shoved in there. I have like filled A3 sketchbooks, I have a little easel down here, I have my microwavable heat bag, because again, it's cold, and then just loads of other stuff that, to be honest, if I've put it in there, it's because I don't intend to ever access it again, which is terrible, but what can I say? And then onto this bookshelf, which again, full of books, no surprises there. I really like reading and I really like having my books around me all the time. So yeah, I got a lot. Here we have A3 sketchbooks currently in use, some kind of stationery things that I like to keep on hand, pins and post-it notes, and my Nintendo DS, which is not a stationary thing, but you know, it's there. Down at the bottom, I've got the box for the Dungeons & Dragons starter set, as well as a box which has like a pretty feather quill one my friends got me, and some photo frames, and then I have this, which is literally a box full of lollipop sticks, which, let me tell you something, I don't craft enough to need all of these goddamn lollipop sticks, but you know, I have them. Here they are, and matchsticks. I got them. Great. Then up here I have this little horned man's sculpture, carving, that my dad made, a felt dagger which I made for college, some boxes of photographs, and a headband with horns on it. I also have this mirror which I have facing my window of my office because again it's dark in here. I like to keep it a little bit brighter and reflect the light back into the room, so that's good. Have a bunch of Preacher comics because I love Preacher. This is that novel manuscript I was talking about. Moving on. I also have this pretty star light which isn't ever plugged in and which I constantly hit my head off, which is kind of annoying, but it's pretty, so I keep it there, ha ha ha. Over here I have this big Iron Man poster on my wall. I'm not even a huge fan of Iron Man anymore, but the poster's really cool and it takes up this wall space which would otherwise be blank, so you know, I like it. This is my boy Charlie. He doesn't stay in the office all the time. In fact, he's probably only in here now because I was talking and he wanted to come and see what I was talking about. Isn't that right, bud? Yeah. But this is a nice window. This is my view out of my office window. Not that, that's a tail. Yeah, I like it. I've just got some candles and another fake plant here. Just because it's nice. It's nice, buddy, isn't it? Yes. Yes, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm happy because you're petting me. Over here, I've kind of got like a shame corner. This thing would have been really cool if I ever finished it. It's like a mounted dragon head. I covered it in felt scale, so it was going to be all soft and plush looking, but it's an absolute nightmare to try and make. And I just got bored and frustrated, and I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. Pikachu bag. And then all my Christmas decorations are in there. In this box, I've got a bunch of wool and kind of felt for craft things that I don't know if I'll ever do. And then another fake plant because it's pretty and it won't die. Yes. I then have these shelves which have more trinkets on them. I like collecting stuff, you might have noticed. So I've got some bottles, some candles, a nesting doll from my grandparents' house, a photo of me and my dad when I was a baby. I was a very cute baby. Look at how cute. Yes. And then up here I have all my paintbrushes. I get all my paintbrushes from Lidl because they're cheap and they're pretty good quality. I'm also really bad with paintbrushes. These are my public paintbrushes, which I will show you. I will not show you the, well, not quite as big tub of brushes that I've shamefully ruined. Haha. Down here we have watercolors and a watercolor palette, as well as a bunch of inks. I've got a load of colors and a gold ink, and then there's an, excuse me, sir. Then there's an empty shelf because I just don't have anything to put there at the moment. Some more books, they're too big to fit on my other bookshelf. And then down here I have some markers, those aren't great. I have my Arteza gouache, which I haven't really gotten a chance to use yet. And then I have my Ohuhu markers, which are the markers I would use because I can't afford Copics, haha. And then there's a random tin with like, I have no idea what's in that, so I'm not gonna open it. Over here I have a bag which is full of cables for my laptop and my Cintiq. And then behind it, hiding, I have a cool, like, staff that I made for like a mage or something because I like making stuff, and I got lucky and found this really cool stick and turned it into a mage's staff, and now it lives here with me, who is not a mage. So that's pretty much it. That's everything really that's in my studio space, and I'm glad that I could show it to you. I'm so lucky to have this space to do my work in, and I really love it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll come back and watch more in the future. Probably gonna be a speed paint next, knowing me, but thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!